Welcome. We're going to do a quick video on sinusoids. Sinusoids are just a human-made math model that relates cosine to things that repeat themselves. So we're looking at a person riding on a circle here, and they're going around and around and around, and they're getting closer to a Lego guy, far away from the Lego guy. Closer to the Lego guy, further from the Lego guy. And so what you want to do is you want to find D, A, B, and C. So A, B, and C are coefficients. We'll see later why we're choosing cosine and not sine. And then what you want to do is to find these coefficients to make an equation that you can put in your calculator and perfectly model this behavior. So first thing we did is we found that the closest distance is 5 feet. If the radius is 12, 24 and 5 gives us furthest distance 29 feet. So we're going to find D first. D is the middle, right there. That's D. And so to find D, you're going to take the far, or I'm going to call it the high, plus the low, and divide by 2. So in this case, it's 29 plus 5 over 2 is 34 over 2 is 17. D is 17. That's the middle. Duh, 5 and 12 is 17. Then the next thing we want to find is the amplitude A. Now the amplitude A is going to be the high minus, well, this is the amplitude from here to here. Well, we can see it's going to be 12, but another way to think of it is the high minus the middle, or the middle minus the low. High is 29 minus 17, well, there's your 12, which you would expect. That's the radius. For the time, we need to measure the time, and I just made up a period of time. B is period, or 2 pi, over the period. Or, remember, period is 2 pi over B. So if you cross multiply and divide again, you're just going to get B as 2 pi over the period. So for this B coefficient here, you're going to go 2 pi, and you're going to divide by whatever the time was, 1.3 seconds. And then T minus C is going to be my phase shift. So do you want to do things the easy way or the hard way? That's what you think. Easy way. So what I would recommend is you start your stopwatch when they're furthest away. What's the cosine of 0? 1. 1 is the furthest away cosine ever gets. Well, the same thing with our rotating object. Start when it's furthest away, then it gets closer, then it gets further, closer, further. But if we start when it's furthest away, start when object is furthest away. If we do that, C is equal to 0, which is great. We're done. There's your equation. You put that in your calculator, that'll be a great estimation of the distance this person is away as they go through that cycle behavior. Pretty amazing. We're going to do one with your finger right now. I'm going to have you take your finger, hold it as far away from you as you can, then bring it to your nose, then do it as far away as you can. We're going to do that. Jackson, you're going to run the timer. Are you ready? You tell me when you're ready. On your mark, get set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ouch, 9, 10, stop. What'd you get? 7 point, oh, let's stick with 7. So the time for one cycle is going to be, what did you say it was, 7.0 over 10, which is 0.7 seconds. That is my time period, 0.7 seconds. All right, then I need some help here. I'm going to have Andrew, hold your finger as far away as you could from your nose, and I get about 0.67. So 0.67 is far away. Well, let's say 0.68, make it easy for us. And then this is going to be closest. How close is it? 0. Great. So if you look at this one, we're going to start far away, come back to 0, go up, and we'll just keep moving that way. Here's 0. Here's 0.68. This is distance in meters. This is time in seconds. And it looked like one period took us 0.7 seconds. Oh, really? Did the time period and the distance same? That's weird. 0.7 seconds. That's cool, actually. All right. So to find D, you're going to take the high minus the low, which is 0.68 minus 0 over 2, which is just going to be what? Where's the middle going to be? 0.34. You got it. That's it. Then how far is it, if this is 0.34, how far is it from the high to the middle? High minus middle. Yeah, it's just going to be 0.68 minus 0.34 will be 0.34 again. That's okay. That's fine. Now for B, what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 pi and divide by the time period for one cycle. So this is just going to be 2 pi over, Jackson got 0.7, which is fine. 2 pi over 0.7. Are we okay? So then all that you're going to have to do is find out what C is. Well, we're going to start when it was furthest from our nose, comes back. We're going to have C equal to 0. Just because we're going to make it that way. Alex said we had to. And there's your equation for finger nose movement. We're going to do a couple more examples on the video here. We're just going to stop here, and then I'm going to do a graph thing in a little bit. Sometimes we're going to take data and make an equation from it. Y equal to D plus A cosine B T minus C. So we're going to do this. Here's D. Pick what's the highest value of, this is a rabbit population in years. What's the biggest one you see? Yeah, and here's the first one. So at 13, we're at year 4. There's going to be a high. What's the next low after that? What's the low population? 11. Okay, so then that's going to be down here at 11, and that happens at year 10. Now, if you sketch it, it's part of one, but it's not a complete loop, which we'll get back to. So D is the high plus the low over 2. So that's just going to be 12, right? There's your D, which is 12. Next thing we're going to find is A. A is going to be your high minus your middle. So 13 minus 12 is just 1. That's boring. That's just 1. And then for B, it's 2 pi over the period. Now the period for this one is laid out in green here. This is the x-axis. This is how far? How long? 6 years. Is that a complete period though? It is not. To get a complete period, you need to add another 6 years. And now it's a complete period. So it's 2 pi over 12. Or pi over 6. That is B. Okay. And then now proceed. We always started when it was furthest away, but what if it isn't starting there? If it's not just find the time where it is furthest, the time for the furthest. The first one that comes up, the time is going to be C, 4. So C is the X value of the peak. There you go. For tomorrow, you go to homework, just 4 problems to do. You're going to do the, if I can get there, come on. Huh. Where are they? Anyway, there's the problems. There's 4 problems. There's 2 that have to do with the charts and 2 that have to do with the non-charts. Have a great day. You get to keep those, yes.